Okay, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Hefner, and then we'll open up the floor to questions for the student athletes. Coach?
Well, I thought it was a great game, really competitive. I thought Jordan did a good job for us. I didn't think he had his best stuff early in the game, but he did what great competitors and veterans do. He made an adjustment, to get into the sixth inning. I thought that was really big for him, and he really started to execute pitches. I think Jared Bayless did an outstanding job as well. I thought we were putting together some good at-bats. Obviously, the fifth inning was really good, to get back within striking range to score those 2 runs. To me, the most disappointing thing is that hit-by-pitch call. I think it's a horrible rule. I think every single coach in NCAA baseball feels the same way. And you think about that situation. It's a 1-run ball game in a regional the 2 championship teams, the 2 teams who have not lost yet, runner on third base, 1 out, 3-2 count on the guy against a sidearm guy who's throwing sliders. Anybody who's played the game has ever hit before. You can't roll on that. You've got to stay in on that pitch, and to have that be called strike 3 is exactly why before the season ever started, why every single coach thought it was a horrible rule. And for that to happen to us in that situation is it's really frustrating. Puts the umpire in a bad position because he's got to officiate a terrible rule. And again, anybody who's ever played the game before knows that you have to stay in on that pitch. There's no way you can move and go out of the way. And he didn't try to get hit by that pitch either. That pitch was inside, and he just put his elbow down. He had to start making a move at the ball. Like I said, sidearm guy with the slider. Am I saying we win the game if that's not called? No, but you like the players to be able to decide it and not that rule that we made up this year.
Questions for the student athletes. If you have a question for a specific student athlete, please indicate before asking.
Jordan, I guess for you, when you gave up those 3 runs in that second inning, I guess what was the mentality after that?
Do whatever I could to settle in and put up zeros. I mean, that's about all you can do after that.
Jared, I guess for you, when you guys put up those 2 runs, did you feel like you had another inning in there?
Definitely. I was really confident in our guys and their approach. I thought we were going to get it done.
Jordan, you talked about it a little bit there, but what were you able to do differently after that inning? I mean, you seemed to settle in nicely.
Mm-hmm. You just got to flush it as quick as you can and, get back to what makes you good. And my slider wasn't there early, and that's been a key to my success this year. And I just washed it and got it in warm-ups and rolled with it.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, we'll excuse them and then open up the floor to questioning for Coach. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, aside from obviously the hit by pitch, what did you think of Floyd's outing, and how difficult was he to hit off today?
Yeah, he's very good. He's had a good season. You look at his numbers, you can tell that he's done a good job. He's a tough look for righties, and I thought he executed really well against our left-handers too, with the changeup and sinking the fastball away from him. He's a great competitor, and he made some really good pitches.
Coach, I know obviously with everything that was riding on it, you kind of mentioned it and alluded to it earlier. I know you got to go 3 wins if you want to try and win this championship. I guess what's the message to your team after this?
The message to them is it's going to be really fun when you do that, and the goal is to come here and to win a regional tournament, and it's going to have to show a lot of toughness on our part, but I think we got some tough kids, and I know that they never give in, they'll never give up, and they're going to keep going to the very end. And I do think we have the ability to win 3 games. Obviously, we got to win the first one tomorrow, so that's the primary focus is right now is just getting ready for that.
Hindsight's kind of 20/20, but did you kind of see this type of game kind of going into it, a 3-2 game where it's only one run that kind of separates y'all?
No way known. I mean, you got two good guys on the mound, and they got a great team. Both teams play pretty solid defense, so you have to plan on it being a close game, especially with the way the wind was today, blowing in pretty good. You knew that the little things were going to be the difference in the ball game.
Any other questions for Coach Hefner?
You know who you're going to throw tomorrow against Florida, and I mean, does it help seeing them second time? I mean, especially the success you were able to have against them at the plate.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll meet and make that decision, but we had a good game yesterday, but they're going to have a new guy on the mound tomorrow, and we got to be ready for whoever they have.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Sure. Sorry to keep y'all waiting. Go ahead.
So we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Tadlock.
Really fun game to watch, I'm sure, from where you guys were. I thought Jordan Martinson really competed for however long he was out there. Looks like 6 1/3, and kind of kept us off balance and did a really good job. Their reliever, Bayless, did the same. Came in and really didn't scratch much off him. You hand the ball to Taylor Floyd, and we have had a Tyler Floyd in there. You know that, right? Hand the ball to Taylor in the 5th, and you're really thinking you're going to piece that together. And what a pitching performance! I mean, that's just really outstanding the way he threw the ball. Josh and Cam put a couple good at bats together back to back there early, and gave us a couple runs. And fortunate these guys are on our side for sure.
Questions for the student athletes?
Cameron, I guess what did you see on that first home run pitch? I know Josh was able to kind of get a hold of a breaking ball there. Was it the same for you?
Yeah, I just got a breaking ball from the middle of the play, the first pitch, and I was able to get elevated and get it out of the park.
The kind of energy that kind of brought to the guys, just being able to kind of get those runs roll.
It was good to get ahead early again, like yesterday, up 3-0, and after 2 today, and then Killian pitched well, and then what Floyd did today was amazing.
Taylor, I guess for you, is this the type of things that relievers kind of dream about, just being in this type of situation?
When I came in the game, I just had to have the mindset of it being 3-2 till the game's over, so it's definitely something that you prepare for.
So what was that final out for you like?
It was cool. I mean, having the stands like it was, and just feeling that energy. I think that's what you play for sure.
Taylor, did you have to lobby to go in the bottom of the 9th, or was it understood that you were going to go?
Nah, this time they let me go out there. I mean, sometimes if the pitch count gets too high for us, they'll debate it, but I think we're right where we needed to be at that point.
How do you think you handled it after coming in and kind of juiced up there and hitting some batters, but able to settle down?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes certain pitches work for you, and I'm just glad to have a couple pitches working. And when you hit a guy, you just gotta focus up, especially if it doesn't affect you. Move on. Just keep executing pitches. The more you execute pitches, the better it's going to play out for you.
Cameron, you've been hitting in this ballpark for a while, and I know you got the one today, but how many more of those hits today would have been out of the park if the wind wasn't blowing right in your face all day?
Kurt would have had one, and then Josh would have had one for sure, if not 2. But it's blowing in from right. It's kind of blowing in from center a little bit today, but we had a few today that would have been out on other days.
How frustrating is that as a hitter, knowing you get a good knock on it, but Mother Nature just decides to kill it in the air?
That's kind of tough, but you just got to bounce back and wait for your next turn and hopefully have a good at-bat next at-bat.
On the flip side of that, Taylor, you've got the opposite, where when it's blowing in, you're like, oh, if this thing's in the air, we've got a chance for the outfielders to make a play. It's got to take one aspect of a hard ball game off of your shoulders, right?
Yeah, especially a one-run ball game. I mean, it takes a little bit of the pressure off knowing that if they drive a ball, it's less likely to leave the park. But, I mean, nothing really changes. It's just executing pitches.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Coach Tadlock.
Coach, was it an easy decision to send Taylor back out there after breezing through the bottom of the 8th?
We didn't even discuss it, so yeah, it's pretty easy. We discussed what we're going to do at certain points, but we didn't discuss him not going out and starting it.
This might be a duh statement, but how beneficial has it been to not have to burn through so many guys in these first 2 games, knowing you're in the driver's seat now?
Well, each day's a new day. It doesn't hurt anything, that's for sure. We were really glad to get Freeman and Sublette on the mound yesterday. And so it can't hurt anything. I mean, so I guess that's the answer.
Obviously, I don't want to come to this, but if you do have to play a little bit longer, will Taylor be available?
Wouldn't think so this weekend. It'd be really short. It'd be a short stint. He bounces back good.
What was their pitching staff doing? I mean, I know the wind was an issue, as Jeff mentioned there, but what was their pitching staff doing after that inning where you guys were able to put 3 up?
Really, both guys elevated some fastballs, whether it was on purpose or not. The breaking ball was down. And so any hitter, I mean, a fastball up looks good, and a breaking ball down, if you swing at it, it obviously looked good at one point. And so they do a good job with that. And they don't give in. I mean, you go back and you look at it, there's a lot of fastball counts they're spinning the ball. And so, it makes it tough. It exposes an approach, and, that's why guys with a really good approach that can hit get to play for a long time.
Coach Hefner addressed this, the hit by pitch. What are your thoughts on that rule? He mentioned how he didn't like it whenever it was brought up during the off season. Your thoughts on it? Clearly, it was beneficial today.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things that easiest way I can explain it. In the neighborhood I grew up in, we played 21 all the time, and if you called a foul, we were going to go at it. You weren't allowed to call fouls, and so I like letting I could do without all the replay and all the extra stuff. Just let them play baseball.
The wind was obviously a factor today for both offenses. Was there any point in the dugout you were that you had to keep your guys up with regards to they squared up some pretty good balls today that the wind just absolutely knocked down?
No, we did have some. I mean, no, there wasn't ever a time where we had to say, "Hey, let's go." They're doing their best as far as that goes. Probably what you want to do is give their pitching staff credit for making pitches, and the wind, to left field was still. And if you could catch a ball out front, it was still obviously Cam had a ball on the top of the tree, so it would still go that way. The other way, I mean, that was playing awful big. So, but both teams are kind of used to that. So, I mean, the wind blows at their park too, and so no, guys did a good job with that.
Coach, I know everyone's going to focus on Cameron's home run, but just speak to the at-bat that Braxton had right after that, just to kind of get you guys up 3-0, because that certainly was a difference in this one.
I mean, I think you're right on right there. I mean, it's a 2-0 game. It's first and third. He gets a ball that's elevated and singles into left field. When you can do that consistently, I mean, obviously it helps. I mean, that was, he's a big part of this deal, and was really proud of him for driving that run in.
How important was it for Taylor to kind of get in this type of situation? It seems like he's kind of bred for something like that, where you just have that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that loves pitching in the grease. Really, I think he thrives on it. He was as good in the 9th as he was in the 5th, you could probably say. He's just a kid that, and he's got really good stuff. I mean, I guess if any of us had really good stuff, we'd like pitching then too. So.
I guess last one from me, Coach. I'm guessing Bryce Bonnen's probably starting tomorrow, just because of the way that everything's kind of gone.
Any other questions for Coach Tadlock?
All right.